Je suis ravie maintenant d'accueillir Wesley Meuris, qui est notre dernier intervenant de la journée d'études. Et donc Wesley, qui est un artiste qui vit et travaille en Belgique, et je pense que c'est particulièrement intéressant d'avoir ce regard de l'artiste. On a vu tout au cours de cette journée comment les archives de la critique d'art en tant qu'institution, les fonds que contiennent ces archives interrogent la distinction entre œuvres d'art, archives et documents. Donc Wesley Meuris, dont les œuvres justement portent sur les conditions d'exposition, les espaces de savoir, et qui s'intéresse beaucoup à la question des archives, qu'il explore au travers notamment de la constitution d'archives fictionnelles, comme celle de la Foundation for Exhibiting Art and Knowledge, dont il va nous parler dans un tout petit instant. Donc, je voudrais juste préciser que ces travaux ont fait l'objet de nombreuses expositions et installations, entre autres au Casino du Luxembourg en 2012, au SMAC de Gand en 2005, à l'Académie royale de Bruxelles en 2010, au Centre de création de Bon à Bruges en 2010, au Frénois en 2010 également. 2010 a été une année très faste, au MAMAC de Liège et à la galerie Art et Essai de Rennes. Donc ceci explique également l'invitation faite à Wesley dans le cadre de cette journée d'études consacrée aux archives à la critique d'art, puisque à l'occasion de cette exposition, donc à la galerie Art et Essai, un ouvrage a été publié par la galerie et la galerie Anne Gentil avec des textes de Denis Briand et de Jean-Marc Poinceau. Voilà, donc je laisse Wesley Meuris nous parler de FIC.
Thanks a lot for the introduction, Larissa. As you can hear, I also speak English. I don't speak French. Sorry for that. First of all, I want to thank especially Jean-Marc for the invitation to talk about my work in this regarding to this program and in this setting. And I also want to thank, and I have to see and read because I always mix up the letters. It is the INHA for their warm welcome and the kind hospitality. Indeed, I will talk today about the Foundation for Exhibiting Art and Knowledge, but I thought it might be interesting to give you a brief introduction in a few other works, previous works, to understand perhaps how this Foundation for Exhibiting Art and Knowledge is a bit embedded in my artistic work. First, I will lead you through some images. I have more or less 35 images, which I try to show you all in these 20 minutes. So I have to keep some rhythm in it. But this is a work, it's called Cage for Galago Krasikau Data. It's a work I made in 2005. And it fits in a project which I called the zoological classification. I made during that period several sculptures, several drawings, all based on cages for animals. At that time I was very much inspired by the architect and especially the book from Neufert about architects' data. It's a great book. I think meanwhile it's on the 18th edition, but it's a book full of data, of information of the width of a door, the height of a door, the height of a step. So all kinds of architectural data is included in the book. As well, some measurements for, let's say, the perfect or the ideal cage. But in my interest in these cages was also in the idea to transform or to translate a kind of natural habitat into a very artificial habitat through some parameters. So every work and every sculpture and drawing I made during that time had a unique code. And this code could be found back in a kind of classification system I created myself. But so far this project, another project I did, I think in 2009, was when I was invited in a galerie Arts et Essais in the University of Rennes, and there I made an installation with the title "The World's Most Important Artist." On your left-hand side, you have an image of the entrance of the space, of the exhibition space, and everyone could take a fiche, a carte, at the entrance. And here the card or the fiche is illustrated. And you see 3 columns on the fiche. So each column has a list of items. And the first column is a list of different kind of disciplines artists work with. For instance, architecture, painting, sculpture, and so on. The center column lists up some topics where artists are inspired by. For instance, the everyday, that, the obscene, art in itself, and so on. And the last column describes the artist condition, going from a high state of intellectual awareness to stuttering and phobias and so on and so on. And the idea is, or was, when you take like one element out of each code, out of each column, you could create a unique code and, wrong direction, and could enter the archive to a very specific drawer within the system or within the archive. So the whole structure was built for the occasion. What you see is a built archive. It's not like a kind of ready-made thing. And also the glass wall, which divides a bit the entrance from the archive itself, is built on location. So once you enter the archive, you could go directly to one, because it's a very clear system with a X, A, Z, X. So it's very logical. You could go directly to one drawer, and once you wanted to open the drawer, you were not able to. So the whole archive stays closed. So you get not really stuck, but you stay within this kind of mechanism of search. I won't extend too much on these works. I can go to the some more images of the archive. There are 660 drawers, all with unique codes. The last project before I go to the foundation is an exhibition where I was asked to do the scenography, and it was during the year of the anniversary of the independence of Congo, our previous colony. And there was like a collector in Belgium which had a huge collection of African objects. And there was this exhibition space in Knokke, the cultural center, who agreed to do an exhibition with his collection. But at a certain moment there was a lot of uncertainty about the value of the collection. Anyway, they had already given their agreement to do the exhibition, so they were searching for a kind of buffer to put in between, and they came up with the idea to put like an artist like in between the institute and the possible critique, which eventually came. But anyway, I decided to, not from an art historical point of view, but because I'm not an expert in this African history, but I was quite interested in the way how this private collector was keeping his collection. He had more than 1,500 objects and was so intrigued with every object. So I decided to create like a kind of conceptual ground map which represented it kind of museum, but not only the museum as an exhibition space, but also as a research center. So, and at the end, from this conceptual ground map, the scenography is totally created and built. So the whole collection was being critically reviewed through the scenography. Anyway, it was, as I showed this, or I mentioned this project, especially because there were so much troubles during the installing and the arranging of this exhibition, from political angles, from economical angles, especially also because of the location, because the location was in Knokke, coast town in Belgium, which is quite touristic. So there were also touristic motives. And it was a constant negotiation between what I could do, what my plans were, and what I was able to do. So maybe I can say at the end I was a bit frustrated because I was not able to fulfill my artistic practice on this project. But on the other hand, it was very interesting as well to be limited and to bounce up upon all these problematic situations. And I think from this kind of feeling that I wanted to react it was one of the starting points of the Foundation for Exhibiting Art and Knowledge. Uh-oh, I always go the wrong direction. Which is mainly described in the book The Foundation for Exhibiting Art and Knowledge, which I leave here, and you can take a look later on. So I will give you an introduction on this foundation, which I'm still trying to get grip on. A foundation that I came across 4 years ago, the Foundation for Exhibiting Art and Knowledge. It is an overarching global institution which, judging from the website, is engaged in the development of concepts for exhibitions, biennials, and fairs, for their production, cultural development, communication, tourism, research, art criticism, and so on. In short, the whole professional framework that surrounds the arts, from products to the provision of services. The foundation is run by specialized researchers, and also has archives and a library that serves as a center for expertise. FIG organizes, regulates, and controls, and thereby meets contemporary needs. Since I started my research, I compiled a book which holds the same name as the foundation. The book visualizes several aspects of the worldwide spread institute. Several documents, historical and more recent, reveal the mechanism and the often hidden targets they pursue. Often in a very indirect way, they are allied with almost every existing exhibition, museum, biennial, art fair, academic conference, and so on. FIG picks up communication strategies, scenographic constructions, educational formulas, border crossing and interdisciplinary partnerships, collection management, knowledge producing activities, and countless others. Everything is managed and gets recuperated. In one of the chapters of the book, both Paweł Ciałkowski, who is a Polish-American artist curator, and Bisan Maridipur, who is an Indian-Iran curator and works in the field of sociology, are describing their relation and experience with the foundation. Furthermore, there are in-depth interviews included by renowned specialists such as Professor Marianne Stanjitswinski, which is a very difficult name, Professor Charlotte Klong, and Professor Julia Noordergraaf. They deal with general issues in the field of the history of exhibition design. But let's go back to the foundation in itself. I read for you their mission statement, which they released in 2012. The FIC is a place that fuels creativity, ignites minds, and provides inspiration. With a collection of extraordinary exhibitions and all knowledge which comes with it, FIC is dedicated to the conversation between the past and the present, the established and experimental. Our mission is helping you understand and enjoy art and knowledge in our time, with a specific focus on how it's brought to you. Through the leadership of a specialized research team, the Foundation manifests this commitment by establishing, preserving, and documenting a permanent collection of the highest order that reflects the vitality, complexity, and the unfolding patterns of exhibiting. This by presenting exhibition models and educational programs of unparalleled significance, and by sustaining a library and archives which are recognized as an international center of research, and by supporting scholarship and publications of preeminent intellectual merit. With a strong desire to advance public appreciation for our exhibitions, the Foundation found a way to keep art and knowledge in a controlled domain through an enterprising loan program that makes the art available for expositions at accredited institutions throughout the world. The result is a lending library of exhibitions formulas and an expansive collection that is regularly cited as one of the top of the world. When an exhibition is added to the foundations of the collection of the Foundation, that acquisition signifies our belief that the object and works demonstrate a mature point of view, and the exhibition shows potential to influence the contemporary era. FIC believes it is important to arrange exhibitions and installations that might prove difficult for a single institute to private individuals to acquire and display. Our Foundation safeguards them for future public enjoyment. We strive to create a collection that provides scholars, students, and curators with a more complete outlook on an exhibition achievement, while serving our borrowers with the resources to bring in-depth presentations to their audience. So far, their mission statement. I know it's quite a long mission statement. You might already have noticed the advertisement projected. It announces one of their annual open house days. During these events, they present new exhibition concepts, organize talks, and some of their in-house researchers, together with their researchers of the in-house researchers. This advertisement is also is also included in the book. So all the images you will see, especially on the advertisements, are included in the book as well. Earlier this year, I was able to visit the office. The office I visited is located in Geneva, Switzerland. From this location, FIC operates in the geographical area of Western Europe. Its main core business is the placement of exhibitions. This happens within the division touring exhibitions. an advertisement what was presented presented in the office called touring exhibitions. I read for you the text down below. Every year, more than 5,000 exhibitions on the move. We aim to tour exhibitions as widely as possible in order to extend public awareness, knowledge, and enjoyment of historical and contemporary culture. The latest exhibitions are available to hire. 250 new concepts safely packed in containers, ready to be shipped to all corners of the world. As well, in the office were also some technical sheets displayed of the content of some of the containers. Technical sheets with titles as The Lady and Unicorn, Hidden Signs in Relics, and so on. So the idea or the presentation of the technical sheet displays the content of the container with all the artworks included, but as well the communication, as there are catalogs, booklets, announcements, posters, and so on, and even scenographical elements. I don't know if it's really clear on the projected image. One of their other projects is the Great White Journey. It's the first art biennial on the 7th continent, and it announces visit art installations in an open-air exhibition by -30 degrees. The art parcours takes 7 days to visit. 24 artists and architects created amazing works in relation to the continent's history. You will stay in a breathtaking ice hotel, which is built for the occasion. Another project is called Hidden Opportunities. This is a 2-day conference which looks at how museums and galleries can benefit from the fast-growing technology in Eastern countries. The program highlights best practice and acts as a platform for artists and curators to reveal their ideas on the latest trends. Lectures and presentations are given by several international curators, but also by international enterprises as China Ocean Shipping and Tata Steel. And this is a street view of the office in Geneva. I don't know if there's still some time, because I can browse through the book with some images. For instance, here you see the mission statement as a document included in the book. And on the right side, you have the interview by Powell and Bizan. And the interview highlights several historical exhibitions and their relation to the foundation itself. This image we just saw before. Here you have an image of the storage of the foundation, and on the right side it's loan form. Here you have the classification system of the exhibitions, and the idea is that FIC is able to reduce each exhibition to a code, But the system and the classification system is so complex that every exhibition becomes a unique code again. They keep as well forums and sheets, info sheets of exhibitions, and here you see a list of all kind of data about attendance, how many visitors there were, how many female artists or female visitors, but also how many female artists were included in the show, how many expertise or curators were visiting the exhibition, how many children, and so on and so on. And on the right side, you see 2 publications they published about exhibition, how to make good exhibitions, of course. Here you see some of the admission tickets. Maybe this one, the mythic creatures, dragons, unicorns, and mermaids. It's an after dark ticket, which means that it allows you to visit the museum when all the lights are out, and you get a flashlight when you visit the museum. Here you see that even earlier projects are being included in the book as well. So they become also part of the foundation. And of course they have a feed channel and Art Case magazine. And there is still online their website, which is www.figproject.com. And if you have the chance, you should visit it. Maybe I don't want to reveal too much about this project. As it has been said already, it's a fiction, of course. But the only thing I want to say, it's not just a pure fiction. The whole system and all the mechanisms are being taken from existing programs or existing institutes. And so it brings together many interests, motives, from economical to political and even academic and so on, and brings it all together in one almost what looks as a very powerful foundation. But at the same time, it's something that's not, it appears not like that. It's something which is, I don't know how to translate it in English, but it's like under the skin. It's very subtle in its movements. So it appears or pops up at few occasions, but as a structure, as a mechanism, it's very powerful. So that's my presentation about FIG. So.